Accuse me of theft? It'll just follow the rules. Obligatory on mobile. Once upon a time, I was a busser in a well-known Italian-American sit-down chain. I'm sure you know the one. I didn't mind the work. It was satisfying seeing things get clean, and I even got to flex my public health knowledge when COVID hit. Not to pat myself on the back, but I was a real powerhouse, known for hefting 40 pounds of dishes onto a tray at a time. Suffice it to say, I kept that dining room rolling, whether other bussers were scheduled or not. Enter Monica. Monica and I were on decent terms. She was nice enough. We came in, we did our jobs, we went home. Well, one day, she thought she saw a guest leave her a cash tip. I bussed the table and didn't remember seeing one. She promptly asked me about it, to which I responded, having lost track of exactly which table it was. Did you check under the Ziosk? Ziosk is the little computer at the table you can play games or pay with. I routinely left tips under them so they were easy to access by servers but out of sight for would-be thieves. She said she did check, and there was no cash. I shrugged and said, sorry then, I don't guess they ended up leaving anything. She insisted that she had seen them leave her at least a $10 bill. I asked where she thought it would be then, and she glanced pointedly down at my pocket. I bristled. I know you did not just accuse me of theft. The only cash in my pocket is $12 from the bartender at lunch. Ask the manager. He'll even empty my pockets. It was common for the bartender to tip the busser, as the busser would run their dirty dishes also. She sauntered off, I grouched about and returned to work, knowing full well I was right. Later on, I ran into the GM, whom I told about the situation. Knowing me, he simply chuckled and assured me he didn't believe for a moment that I had stolen anything. I offered again to turn out my pockets, but he declined, saying he believed me. Cut to the next shift I worked with Monica. It was a busy lunch and the hosts were asking for specific tables. Well, those tables belonged to Monica. Already annoyed with her, I had put them on the bottom of my priority list. When I got to them, I realized she hadn't pre-bussed them. Servers are supposed to never leave a table without a dirty plate or two. The bussers are only supposed to deal with small plates, a salad bowl, glasses, that sort of thing. This is done for the sake of efficiency. Well, I decided that if Monica hadn't pre-bussed the table yet, she probably also hadn't checked it for cash tips. So I radioed the host stand. Sorry, there are other tables I can turn faster. Ask Monica to come pre-bus her section. This continued throughout the shift, and management noticed the slow turning of the section and asked me to go handle it. I responded, not until she pre-busses. She falsely accused me of stealing tips, so I don't touch her tables until I'm sure she has been there, and the easiest way to know if she's been there is to check if they're pre-bussed. The manager understood my logic and left me alone. Monica had to pre-bus every single table, while literally every other table in the restaurant was clean. She wasn't getting sat, and thus wasn't making as much money. Fewer guests, fewer potential tips. The icing on the cake? This was a lunch shift. I was the only busser scheduled, so she couldn't go ask another busser to handle it. Even if she had, the rest of them were quite lazy, and also would not have touched it without a pre-bus. After about a week of this, she finally approached me, apologized for the false accusation, and asked that we go back to how things were before. I said fine, but if she ever so much as blinked at me wrong again, she'd be bussing her own tables. Perhaps not as satisfying a conclusion as other stories, but I feel good I made my point. Nobody ever accused me of theft again, primarily because I know good and well not to mess with anyone's money.